Well, hello, everybody. It's your boy, Sam again, aka the train mother main. My tables and labels and Mabels and Gables. So it's been, I think, 2 weeks to the day since my last layout update. So wouldn't you know it? 2 videos in a 2-week span. That's pretty good. Like I said and have said, I try to upload as frequently as possible, but being that since 2013, I'm not able to keep a schedule, you'll just kind of have to wait, and when the videos come, they will come. But we are in full swing with this layout, and I think you're going to be excited for what I have to show you. So this is officially my largest layout ever, square footage wise. You remember the mega layout, the modular layout, it was 12 by 7.5 by 9. I did some calculations. That layout, the 12 by 7 by 9, and then the different depths and whatnot, that was about 49.5 square feet. This layout, it's 15 and change by 2, and then 6 by 4, and then 8 by 18 inches. It's about 66 square feet of model railroad. Again, the modular mega layout was 49.5, so just call it 50 square feet. So this is 65.5, 66 square feet of layout. So I beat my previous layout by, another 30%, give or take. So last video, I showed you how I had expanded this guy. And then at the end of that video, I said I was thinking about expanding this guy. Well, we've already expanded this guy. We've got some track laid on this guy, and I've got a lot to tell you about this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Say hello to this guy. I have these lamps with the above light and the telescopic, or what do you want to call it? Slinky style light. Really helpful when I'm working. But as far as overall light, I got the big overhead lights over here, but I need to get some kind of lighting. So if you have any lighting links on Amazon or something you did, I want to put like a light there, then like a light here. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. That's kind of like my next investment, if you will. So I do want to light this scene better. Like I said, maybe a light over here, then like a light there, and then like a light there. So yeah, I expanded over here, and that follows this expansion over here. So let's start from this side, and we'll work our way over, because that's what I love to do. So at the end of the last video, I mentioned my previous layout was 8 feet long by 2 feet wide, and then 6 feet of the 8 foot going this way. So it was like, 8 foot by 8 foot, but it met in the corner, 2 feet. When I built the new layout along the back wall, if I ever was going to expand, which at the time I wasn't planning on staying here much longer, but we decided we're going to stay at this house for at least another 5 years. So that gives me 5 years to work on the layout. And again, I expanded as soon as we made the decision. So knowing that I was going to expand, I always had it in mind, a rough plan. I wanted to come out in the middle and then come out on the sides. So you've already seen this, and I've already added this. So being that I already got this done nice and quick and relatively cheap, I'm like, let me just get this done now too while I'm still in benchwork mode. We'll get the benchwork done, we'll get the fascia done, and then we'll be working on the railroad. I, in my mind, want to expand out here too, but that'll be a future expansion. I don't have the gusto to design something else right now. But so the main line, the main line goes behind all the way back up to here. Then we got the branch line that serves the mine, branches off right here, goes all the way down to the lumber yard, and then ties back into the main right there. So it's just a branch line for the industries. So what we got is I put in a switch right here, did some reconfigurations down here, and we have another branch line that comes down. This is 18 inches wide by 8 feet from here to here. So technically it's 10 feet because this is 2 feet wide. So same techniques as before. What I did, I put in the branch line. I wanted a yard on the layout. So I put in a 4-track yard. It's all wired up and glued down, Pico switches. In the previous video, I said a branch line just going down to serve like one industry. So just kind of like a rural branch line. I'm like, you know what? Let's have this go down, be a little tiny yard, and head into an industrial park. So I whipped out my Medusa cement kit. Had this for a long time. It's weathered. Then I bought this as well. It is a Walthers kit. I don't know the name of the kit, but I've eyed it up for years. So we're working in all these industries right now. I'm probably going to buy a couple other buildings to fill this out. Then we'll have, parking lots and roads and all that. A road probably coming in and starting there. So it's looking pretty good. I did say that this branch line would have a terminus at the end of this section. So that's what I did. Going to put a track bumper here or a gravel pile. But the branch line main comes through the yard, stores plenty of cars. I can kick cars around. I can build a train. I put this stub track here just for future expansion. If not, it'll just be like the overgrown kind of yard track, the least used. And then let's get in here and look a little closer. So again, these are all Pico Insulfrog turnouts. It's all wired for DCC. Everything is good to go. So there are 3 yard tracks and then the 4th stub track. And then just before the yard throat, I put in this guy, and he will be the industry leads. So right now, probably going to put another switch here and just have a little run around to serve the cement plant. Then somewhere over here, tie off, have them come down in here. Whatever, this would be a furniture factory or something. And I'll probably throw another industry like right on the corner. So we'll move him back over here probably. So I have another industry right there, a little further like in this area. So we'll have it kind of go and fill it out. It's a nice big space. Probably tie the mountain scene in a little bit right here, just like a rolling slopey hill. Make it go down to flat about here, and then we'll have the road kind of come in, go this way. Have some fence and junk and industrial crap over here. And maybe some like abandoned track and like an abandoned building here or something. The possibilities are endless, but as soon as I built this Benchwork, I decided I'm gonna go buy all the track. Bought all my switches that I need so far. Still need to order some more, but good to go. I'm kind of bummed out. I went and bought a ton of Flex Track from the only hobby shop left in my county. That's right. In the past 3 years, 3 of the 4 hobby shops in my county of 2 million people have closed. There's only 1 shop left in the county. It does not carry Pico switches, so all I was able to buy from them for this layout was Flex Track. The previous shop closed at the end of May, Al's Trains in Bedford. So before he closed, when I was working on this part of the layout, I was able to buy Flex Track, Pico turnouts, all kinds of stuff from him, including some new rolling stock. So unfortunately, all my Pico switches and most of the future stuff for this layout will be from eBay, at least for now. I have some reliable saved sellers. So, the train is on the new main line over here. As you can see, she works her way around the entirety of the first part of the expansion. And there's going to be a big mountain in the middle, more sloping and hilly over here. And then very jagged and abrupt, probably starting like right about here. I got to bring this out. So I just glued this down this afternoon. I got a whole nother 4x8 sheet back there, ready to start filling this out in big chunks. And then we'll do Foamageddon on the entire layout over a couple weekends in the fall, probably the dead of winter. So as far as the new expansion, like I said, the number 6 turnouts I ordered came in. I've always kind of been like a stiff about making things look straight and tidy, but with this new expansion, I'm like, yeah, there's plenty of straight railroad track in the world for miles, but we're out in PA. I model Pennsylvania, old, new era, whatever. There's lots of mountains and grades and hills. I'm not putting any grades, but I want these to be a little curved and wonky. I don't want it to be straight. So that's what I did. So it comes off the original main. Again, this is all wired now for DCC. I wire quick. I just put in the track, I wire it. It's, as soon as the glue dries, I wire it, then the track work is done until you go to ballast it. So she comes off the main, wonkies her way through here. I don't like that word wonky. Some guy at work said it like a couple weeks ago, and now I've said it too many times since. Comes over this way and works its way back onto the main. So again, this is 6 feet by 4 feet. So, I mean, it's a absolutely huge layout. Like I said, I want to have cliffs dropping off here and then even taper this down almost to the benchwork, just 2-inch foam. And then I'll bevel the edge of the fascia to match, and we'll go from there. Same thing over here, very cliffy and abrupt and steep. Probably go 3 or 4, maybe even, I don't know about 5, but 3 or 4 layers high. This will be like a nice little canyon. I might throw a tunnel in here. I doubt it though. Probably just a little valley. The rails come through and then it kind of does its thing. So I decided to pull out a bunch of rolling stock to stretch its legs. Haven't had, I've had a few cars out, but usually only 4 or 5. The shortest I have, the most problematic, and the longest, just to do all the track testing. But I'm almost completely done with track work, so I'm like, let me run a nice consist. The only track work really left to do is basically based off of this switch right here. Everything else is glued, wired, and done. So if you didn't notice, but I'm sure you did, I also completely finished the fascia. I don't like to work super fast anymore, but experience with multiple layouts now, I know the order to build stuff in. You build Benchwork, put the foam on it, you're good to go. You do the backdrops and the fascias after the Benchwork's done, that's done. You do your track plan before you build anything 90% of the way. Once you start gluing it down, you get it glued down, you get it wired, it's done. You do that quick enough to enjoy actually working on the layout. So when, the back section of the layout's been built now since February, the original section, but in 2 weeks' time, maybe between 2 and 3 weeks' time, I built brand new Benchwork here and here. I built it, put the foam on it, did the fascia, there's no backdrop, bought the track, knew what the track plan was, glued it down, and wired it. And now I'm able to run trains. So now I can do Scenic foam work, ballast, paint, build industrial stuff, all of that. That's where the slow progress comes in, because that's where you actually start detailing and working. So I went and bought my 4x8 sheets of masonite. It is 8-inch fascia. It's in, every section's cut in. Looks pretty nice and flush. The corners and all that, they're not perfect. I'm going to show you what I'm doing for this problem right now. So you could see an outside corner, and they're not perfect. They're the perfect length, but they don't meet up perfectly, which is fine. Same thing on the inside of corners. They are the perfect length, but they don't meet up 100% perfectly. Over here by the walls, I got to get some of this trim out of here. What I bought was corner molding. Check this stuff out. So this is an 11-foot section. I don't know why it came in 11 feet, but it's 1 inch by 1 inch. And so I'm going to be cutting it into sections. Well, they're 8 inches, so just say I'll be cutting it into 8-inch sections and then fixing it to the corner. So on an outside corner, you're gonna have this look. And then on the inside corner, you're gonna have this look. And it'll shore it up real nice, make it look all nice and finished. I'm gonna stain it. I was gonna paint it, but I'm actually gonna stain it. So that's a better look at it. So on the outside corners, you'll see this end, and on the inside corners, you'll see this end. Obviously, I'm taking that sticker out of there. A nice and finished look. If I want to be a perfectionist and have it be a 5-year layout, if we're going to be here another 5 years, I want it to look prime time. Over here, like I said, I cut them all to perfect length and screwed them on for measurements purposes. Got to take off this piece, fix the foam, it'll sit flat. Then I'm going to be covering that. Same thing in here. I cut about 1/4 inch too short. This is the worst cut right here that I made, and I wasn't going to redo it because I have the extra masonite, but I also had the plan to do the corner piece. So I'm like, there's no reason to waste another piece of masonite. This is salvageable. If it was another 1/2 inch longer, I would have had to recut, but my theory held correct, and it's going to look sweet. But again, we decided that we were going to stay here 3 to 5 years and then move. It'll be 5 years this coming spring that we've been here. And we decided we're just going to stay for another 4 or 5 years. Let the economy and the world figure itself out. And in the meantime, we have a nice home. We're updating, we're improving. And I'm like, I'm going to be here. I'm going to expand and enjoy it. On that note, I'm like, I'm just going to expand it now. Day one, we decided we're moving. I'm like, since I started this layout, I already wanted a bigger layout. And why not just do it now? Start when we're starting fresh again. We're starting here for 5 more years, making some big improvements to the home. To me, this is part of the home. This is part of my living situation. This is part of my, routine. So I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to look sweet. It's already looking sweet. Definitely nice to have switching ops in a yard. I know I have a big mine yard and some, and the lumber mill yard. I could switch around there, but having the nice runarounds and able to store cars and all that. And then once I get these industries all worked in, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for operating sessions, even just on my own. Being able to run a super nice consist while switching any of the, 2 industries here and then the industrial park down here. And I'm already just loving the look of it. Such a nice utilization of space. You can have a mega layout, or this is my biggest layout, but the space is so well utilized. There's going to be tons of industry, tons of scenics. Still, I'm going to put a water feature and some bridge in somewhere in this section. Plenty of city type stuff, and but tips or tricks, Tony Hawk style. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from all you subscribers. I want to know, do you think I'm getting ahead of myself? Do you think it looks cool? I'm also probably going to stain these legs too. I need to do that. But let me know what you think. I'm excited to have such a big undertaking again, knowing I have all the time in the world and I'm not hyper-focused on eventually moving. I'm really starting to enjoy myself again, like when I first started model railroading. Global HO N Scale headquarters or whatever on Facebook, still my group. Hit me up in there. Please subscribe to the channel. And again, let me know. I need some kind of lights for up there. I don't even care if I have to run a power cord. I'll run it up the wall and plug them in. I really don't care. So yeah, give me some suggestions. Let me know what's going on. I appreciate the love, the time. It's crazy how, going back to 2013, all the different layouts and videos and tutorials and time. And I don't know, a lot's been happening and it's still happening. So I'm excited for that. So cheers to all of you. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Train main out.